And hello, and good morning. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv, B-O-L-E-S dot, a T and a V. And I say that because we do have deaf viewers who don't know what I'm saying, so they rely on closed captions to read what I'm saying. And when I say Boles TV, it puts a W in the last name Boles. The captions do. So that's why I spell it out. It's a little weird, I know. Well, Davy. Well, as my Uncle Mills used to say. It's been an eventful morning, and it's only Monday. I have now discovered that there is some new problem with the machine. I don't know if it's a Windows update thing or some kind of conflict. A collision, I believe, might be more appropriate. That when you're getting ready to stream, the Streamlabs will say, okay, ready to go. And you'll set everything up, get the lights working, test the chat to make sure that's working. Excuse me. Being hotboxed by my neighbor. And then you notice the screen has frozen. And you're like this. But you're moving, but your screen. So you have to close all the 50 things you have open, restart the machine, late for the date, and then only open the minimal things that you need to make sure that the live stream goes. Which is not ideal, but at least it works, or at least we're here so far. So hey, it's Monday. Lots of interesting things happen over the weekend. A couple of scams in the works. One against deaf people, and one against me. In a way. Scab update. I'm not talking about working, I'm talking about bumps. Bumps, bloody stumps. I am my own scab. They're looking better, but they are now scabbing over. And scab is dried blood, right? So you can really see them now. But this one, right here, started flaking off before the show today. So I might have helped it flake off. And it's not bleeding, so it's looking better. Now, my skin doctor hates scabs for some reason, I guess because it obscures the healing that's going on underneath. And what he will do is take a piece of cotton, put a lot of hydrogen peroxide on it, briefly hold it over the scab, and then as hard as he can, push on you and twist, as if you're opening a medicine bottle. It's child safe. And pull off the scab that has been protecting your beautiful skin. And it hurts like heck. So I'm very pleased that the scabs are falling off on their own, and he will not have to yank them off of me. But it hasn't even been a week yet. A week Wednesday. We'll be with these for a week, and then we go see him again in another week, and then I guess we get our blue light treatment. So over the weekend I discovered that there are new and interesting Twitch badges that you can add to your account. Now I can add some here to viewers. VIP, the artist badge, the badge of honor, and you can only see it in chat, not in what appears on the screen. And I have a new one on the Boles TV account, which I'll show you in chat because it's kind of cool. Hey! You can see you can't see it on the screen, but you can see it in the chat. That is a beautiful tulip. And that is an indicator that I have been given a ticket to TwitchCon 2022 in Amsterdam. Will I be flying to Amsterdam in July? I don't think so. I should 8-ball that. Maybe. I've asked the 8-ball, will I go to Amsterdam? And the 8-ball is not responding. Oh, I didn't do it right. I forgot the 8. Well, I go to TwitchCon in Amsterdam. Now, ask again later. Well, that's the answer. Now, I'll tell you right now that Amsterdam is a cuss word. And I've talked about this before, and people think I'm insane. It should be Amsterdam. And we have another one, Rotterdam. Should be Rotterdam. Hey, it's just my thing. I'm surprised it didn't get botted, by the way. Maybe it didn't get botted because I typed it. If someone else typed it, then it would be botted. So I have the tulip. Now, there's great controversy over this tulip. And you have to decide to pick the tulip. So I got rid of my Nitro badge because you can only have a certain amount of badges. So I got rid of my Twitch Nitro badge and replaced it with the tulip. And I guess there's been tremendous outrage in the Twitch community. Because all these years, the valued badge for TwitchCon, wherever it's held in the world, and there are two. Oh, Gordon's playing 8 Ball. Now that's going to be fun. 8 Ball, are puns the best form of humor? Most likely. Well, there you go. It's the answer. There's no doubt about it. But there's outrage in the Twitch community. And there's one in San Diego coming up in October. So there's one in July in Amsterdam and one in October in San Diego. And the people who go are furious because they love their badges. We don't need no stinking badges. Unless it's TwitchCon, then everybody wants a badge. Because, get to the point, there is no 22 in or on the badge. People want the year of the badge. I guess that's very important. This year they broke history and just made it a tulip. This is my theoretical first TwitchCon that I'm not going to, but that I have a ticket for. I love the tulip. I don't need a 22. I think the tulip is iconic enough, semiotic enough, that if you're interested, you can hover over it, I think, your mouse, and it says, hey, TwitchCon 2022 in Amsterdam. Amsterdam. Darn. Now, they've also added another kind of badge that I'm going to show you. As you saw, that I was testing it on the Jana Marie account. Sometimes she's here, sometimes she's not here. Today she's not here. Because they have a new badge for people who are viewing your stream without audio. Deaf people, most likely, or people at work. And there's another badge, viewing without video. Okay, maybe that means blind people. Interesting. Now, it appears you can only pick one or the other. So if you're deaf and blind and trying to communicate or somehow watch the show, I guess you can't badge yourself. So I was trying to help Jana set up her badge. And as you can see, I was ultimately successful because I realized for her, I can't have audio. I don't hear audio. Badge to show up. I had to remove her artist badge. Because I guess you can only show 3 badges. And so she's a moderator as well. So she's a mod. She's a subscriber. And she was an artist. So I'll just have her say hello on her account. Hello. And there you go. So you can see if you hover over her, watching without audio, which is a sound thing with an X on it, which is really fantastic. Ugly, black and white, ugly. They could make it more tulipy. But it's an indicator for broadcasters to say, oh, look, I happen to maybe have a person who can't hear what I'm saying, and there are several of them here, if they know how to do the badge. It was more complicated than I thought. You have to do it from your account in the actual chat. Click on your icon and then pick the badges you want to show. And then if you have, then you say, well, hey, I see, Jana Marie, that you are, you turned on our closed captions. And then you realize, as some people are realizing, what a double standard that is for the Twitch. They will not provide closed captions natively for their live streams unless it's an official Twitch broadcast, right? Nasty. Whereas, and therefore, YouTube and Facebook will caption everything and anything. If it's recorded, it's captioned. If it's live, it's captioned. Caption, accessibility. So, some people are arguing that, well, it's interesting that Twitch wants to identify people who can't hear you, but they're not going to do anything about it technically. They'll give you a badge, Jana Marie, but they're not going to provide native captioning. You figure it out on your own. Which is very tasteless, in my therefore and whereas opinion. And hey, speaking of Twitch, with this whole thing to show you. Where did it go? Oh, I hope I didn't lose it. With this whole, well, that's not it. I hope I didn't lose it. Rigmarole going on with the Amsterdam thing. Well, I know I have to find it now. Okay, I found it. I got invited to be part of the Research Power Group on Twitch. I don't know what that is, but they say if you go and join them, we'll give you bits that you can use. Well, bits are a form of money and a form of payment, so I thought, okay, I'll go do it. So I signed up, and they ask you, I'm telling you, 50 questions that are deeply and intimately personal. And then you get to the final page, and it says, hey, submit, and you're going to be in, and we're going to give you some bits. This is what you get. Meow. All that time, 20 minutes, answering really personal questions about who you are and what you're doing, and how you feel as a streamer. And it all blew up. Barfed, I believe, is the correct technical term. The Twitch Research Power Group barfed all over me. And hey, speaking of barfing, I'm going to remind you of a story that I told you maybe a week or two ago, about the Me6 bot, which is on Discord, the Boles bot. And the Me6 people, it's like 2 or 3 guys in France, have created a wonderful, friendly, interesting bot. And it plays music, and it interacts with people, it gives you levels and status, fun stuff, yeah. Oh, hey! Gordon's asking me a question. Physical or digital, just digital? Well, I've talked myself into a corner, Gordon. I don't remember the question. The answer. Physical or digital, what was I talking about? I don't know. So while Gordon thinks about that, the Me6, the TwitchCon badge, I believe there is this badge, and then in your streamer account you get another thing that says, hey, you have a ticket to TwitchCon. And then if you go in person and you show your ID, then they give you a physical badge as well, which I probably won't be getting. And as affiliate, I think you get a free, like a grab bag thing, but if you're a partner, oh boy, they give you 1,000 million things for free. And if you're just a regular person, you don't get anything. This is the website. TwitchCon, it's the ultimate splat up. And I know people who go and they love it. They have a wonderful, wonderful time. There are newsletters, all kinds of fun stuff. And then you can buy your tickets, travel, health measures, what's coming, where you can buy your tickets. For San Diego, you cannot buy a ticket yet. So when you click on the bio tickets, a 2-day ticket event is €108. 1 day is 65. You have to be 16 and older. Here you go. These are the partner and affiliate perks. If you're an affiliate, hey, that's us. You get an exclusive affiliate gift. I don't know what it means. If you're a partner, you get a party and a shop and a gift and a lounge and 50% off your ticket. Meow. And here are your pickup hours. You have to come and show government ID with your ticket to get all your stuff. So it sounds like a lot of fun. And if you're a member of the press, you can request a press pass. And if you have other things going on, they're very responsive, as they say. So the Me6 bot was on 6 million Discord servers, right? Very popular bot. And you could buy a lifetime subscription for, I think, $89, which is a heck of a deal because a lot of these bots want $5, $6, $9 a month. So for one shot, you can have me for the rest of your life. It was really terrific. And then they decided to sell an NFT that would have Web3 function, crypto, and avatars. So some people don't care about the avatars, but they do. And everybody's waiting for the crypto, and it was all supposed to be delivered a month ago, and it was delayed. Well, it's Web3. Their Discord server is very active. And the NFTs were selling for $700, and now they're selling for $70 because there's no value anymore, and they had to split the NFT into two things, into the functional NFT that provides the access and the lifetime pass. You get 10 lifetime passes for one NFT. And the avatar has been split off because it doesn't have any value other than just a piece of art now, and everyone's outraged. It's a big thing. And I'm going to show you what all the hullabaloo is about. But we're getting close to a break time. But the thing is that started all this is 3 days before they were going to do the big reveal of the icons, they had a security problem. I don't want to say a server hack because that's not what it was, but someone on their staff who had very big powers had their account compromised. And somehow they had their server set up that if that particular account was compromised, that gave them administrative power over all 6 million servers on which they were installed, which nobody knew about. I'm not even sure the Me6 people knew about it, because if anybody found out about that, they would be over and dead. So they claim it wasn't a security hack, but people could get onto a server, become an admin, and do nasty things, deleting things, trying to get information out of people. It was a big sort of scandal. And a lot of the top servers that were using the Me6 bot got rid of it and replaced it with something else. I didn't, because I have a very small server and I don't care. Because the stuff that was going on, no one's trying to get to my people to steal money from them. So they had to delay the reveal of the avatars for what turned out to be like 3 weeks, which made people very upset. Just because the fact that they say we're going to reveal it on Friday, oh, we have this server problem, we have a PR problem, so we're delaying all the fun for 3 weeks while we try to fix this. And we still don't know if or how they fixed it, which is, again, very bizarre. And so yesterday was the reveal of all of the avatars. And it was a complete and utter disaster. And I'll show you why after this brief break. And we're back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv, BOLES.tv, Monday through Friday, live, 9 a.m. Eastern. Well, I forgot to mention that the tulip thing, right? The TwitchCon icon badge thing that is a tulip. Outrage, where's the year? So I guess about 2 weeks ago, a month ago, people were so upset that Twitch took back the tulip and just gave you an empty icon while they allegedly fixed to add the year. And then I think that some people got upset and contacted Twitch and said, I love the tulip. We don't need the year. And then I guess 2 weeks ago or so, that the tulip mysteriously reappeared. I don't know if it was redesigned or made to look prettier or something, but I don't see a year on it. It's just a tulip, which I think is perfectly fine. So as you may know, I'm involved in a social media alpha test, 1 of 10 in the world, from a major social media company. It's supposed to begin on the 20th, and as I signed a new round of NDAs, I was told, well, it might be a week or 2 or 3 or 4 delay. We're having technical problems, which I understand, because what they're trying to do is add a whole new functionality to their social media platform. And that's a very technical thing when you have millions and billions of users. So, but they said, hey, here's the new round of NDAs, so sign this and send it to America. So I did, and I contacted a couple of the people who had been sending me their artwork saying, well, it looks like we're a little delayed. And they were fine with it because they're artists who sell their stuff and they know what this is like. And remember the problem that I had with the 2 of the NFTs that were sent to me with an inherent value for some reason of 1 Ethereum each. Our friend Ashita. So we talked about it. I couldn't figure out why it was there. She couldn't figure out why it was there. We didn't know who to ask. So she said, look, do one of 2 things. Burn them, send them back, and then I will re-mint them on OpenSea and send them to you that way. I said, okay. I said, I'll send them back to you because I really don't know how to do a burn. And sending them back to her gives her the power to make the decision of what to do. I'm showing that I'm not trying to take something that doesn't belong to me. So I sent them back. She got them. Great. Then she said she was having trouble minting them on OpenSea. There's some problem with her account. Okay. And then I just heard from her saying, well, OpenSea knows there's a problem with my account. They're working on it, but they don't know when they're going to fix it. So maybe she's going to send them, maybe she's not. That puts me in a little bit of a position because I kind of have to replace her in my strategery if for some reason she doesn't show up. And I would, if that's the way it is, she's not coming back, that's okay, because I don't want 2 Ethereum in my wallet that I did not own or pay for. I'm not paying 30% tax on $6,000. Not happening. So I thought, well, okay, so this Me6 bot avatar thing is going to be revealed, so maybe there's some way, somehow, I could use a couple of those. And this story, and not to interview them, but a story of, hey, this is what an NFT is. They had one that became a Web3 thing, and they split it. It went into an avatar. One is functionality. It would make, excuse me, an interesting post for an alpha beta test of NFTs on an unnamed major social network. That was my thinking yesterday. Yes, so the avatars were supposed to be revealed a week ago. Then it was a placeholder was set on Thursday, last Thursday. And the avatars will be revealed 4 p.m. on Sunday, yesterday. So everybody on Discord's all excited, but those of us who are old and been around saying, they have never done anything right since this hack thing that they had with one of their admins. Nothing has gone right. They have never met a deadline. And I'm not angry with them because I think that they're wonderful guys and they're not really PR people, they're programmers. It's a different way of thinking and a different way of dealing with the world. It'll get done when it gets done. That's how they think. And so they say, well, we're going to do it Sunday at 4, and everyone believes them, and then it's not. And then everyone's furious, and they don't understand why. So, Sunday around 3:20 p.m., the avatars started dropping. Showing up. Refresh the metadata, and you'll see what avatar you got because it's been a surprise. And I'm not big on these kind of surprises. I don't like. I like to get and purchase and have NFT art that I want, not that I is minted as a surprise. Or let's refresh the metadata and see what kind of child it is. But I guess that's not how they do it. People like the mint, they like the excitement, up until a point. And then they get an ugly one, and one they don't like, and they're furious. Congratulations, you've got Dollar Store Papa Smurf, says Professor Gordon. Which is pretty accurate, as you're going to see in a moment. And I guess that's the problem that I have with these, minting things. There are 5 one-of-ones that could be worth $5,000, but it's one of one, 5 one-of-ones in a release of 5,000. So you really have no chance of getting anything interesting. And there are people who, for whatever reason, purchase like 10, 15, 20 of these original Me Passes at, $700, $800 a pop. Because they want to support the guys, support the team. Okay. So that means they have, 10, 15 avatars coming their way. And they're the whales. If you have more than 10, you're considered a whale. And you get a little whale icon on their Discord server. And they all sucked. So 3:30, 3:45, everyone's posting photos of their Me6 avatar. One of mine hit right away, which I thought was ugly as sin. The other one hit a little bit later, like 25 minutes later, which was okay. But a lot of people were posting they were saying, these are supposed to be randomized, but they're not. If it has a cowboy hat, it also has a pink mustache. If it has a bubble background, it also has the unibrow. They were picking them apart, saying these are supposed to be completely randomized, and they're not randomized at all. And people who know we said, look, this is a simple, Python script that you change things up and you make it look good. And the Me6 guys didn't do that. So here's the first one that I received. Now, it's okay. Immediately, you can see one of the problems. The laser eyes are going through the hairstyle, which to me doesn't make any sense. So that's a layering problem. All they had to do in their script was to say, look, if you have laser eyes and there's hair, the laser eyes go over the hair, not into the hair. And why the hair is 2 different colors? I don't know. And for some reason, they love these avatars to have their, I guess, the chin, the lower circle of the avatar be at the very bottom. And so for a lot of these avatars, the whole top part is not there. So you make it a profile picture, and half of your profile picture is this blank space. It's very ugly. Now, I didn't post any of my avatars on there because I didn't want to. I have questions that I will share with you that I asked them. Of course, no one responded. But I'm not out to kill anybody because I understand this is a process. This was my second avatar. He is not blue. He is bubblegum. He has a whirligig hat, which is kind of cute, and laser eyes. So how I got 2 laser eyes, I don't know. But I am counting myself as relatively lucky because some of the things that other people got were just downright weird and mistakes. So this is okay. It fills the space, as they say. So the upper part of the avatar is filled with the beanie, which makes for a better profile pic. Okay. So those are the 2 that I, quote, paid for, that were delivered. And I was like, okay. Now other people were posting this, look, this is ugly. I don't want this. I'm selling it. Go get it. So I thought, okay, hey, if I use my secondary account and they're selling these for a few dollars, I could cover my Ashita emptiness with a couple of giveaway avatars that other people don't want as a backup plan. And here's the first one that I was able to acquire, which is probably going to be too violent for this social media test. But of the ones that were available, this one was sort of unique. It has the knife in the head with the squirting blood. And I guess, I haven't seen this in a lot of them, and I looked at a lot of them. I guess this is Google Glass or something here. And then there's a little complexion problem going on, which I find interesting. And I don't know what these things are. Dimension, I don't know. And then the green neon box that everybody hates, and nobody understands why it's there. But for me, for what I'm trying to do to make up lost space and lost time as an emergency, it's okay. And then there was another one that came up that I thought was interesting. This one is a pirate one. This has the blue swirling background that I guess is water, that people really like that background. The pirate hat I think is cute, and I like it because, hey, it fills this space in the avatar creation. And it's this avatar that's really caused the most problems. This one is not too terribly awful, in my opinion. So it's a bot and a bot. There's the internal bot that is just sitting there. Some of them have glasses, some of them have laser eyes. It's very weird, it doesn't work. I don't know what these are. I guess these are eyebrows that should be up here, because there can't be the eyebrows for the tiny bot, because the tiny bot has eyebrows. And this is the smiling mouth, but the mouth is open. I don't really understand it. It was super cheap. I thought, hey, this, yes, will work, hey, as an emergency backup. And then people were posting many of this version, and where they have big sunglasses and like an Oculus on this, and then an Oculus on this small one, and it's just a major, major mess. But stylistically, it works as an avatar. Right, major social media helping the campaign. And then there were the really, really, really hated ones, where everybody was vomiting. And I thought, well, I'm going to go look at that one. And it was selling really for pennies. I thought it was bizarre and sort of cute. But everyone else was grossed out by this. There are a few that have poopy heads on them. And if you don't know, over the last 2 weeks, there are NFTs selling that are piles of poop with personalities on them that are selling I want to say like hotcakes, but like steaming hot turds, I guess is what you might say. Very popular. That I don't care about. But this, people hate the pixelated body, right? They hate the flies coming out of the poopy. This is female, I've learned, because of this. I guess these are eyebrows. But what makes this one really unique is that it's a cat face. And if you have a cat, you know that 90% of your time is spent with the poopy. So I thought it was charming and funny and silly. A major social media network that cannot be named may not appreciate this. I like the pink background, which is unique. But a poopy cat, I think, is rather delightful. And I accept. So I've made, on Facebook, this, my main avatar, my business page, that you can go see now. And this one is just my regular, ordinary page that I'm forced to, not a page, account, that I'm forced to have in order to manage my page. Let me see if I can take you there now. It's very confusing because, see, I'm an admin and I have to log out of one account and log into another account. It's a big mess. So, okay, hey, this is my, what I call ghost account. With Ishita's stuff up here. And this was not the free one, this was a different thing. And this is my laser eye bubble face. And you can see it fills the area, the space of what is supposed to be a profile picture. I'm fine with it, actually. And then we'll go to our page. Hey, it kind of works. It fills the page. It fills the space. I wish we could see the feather a little bit more, but it's better than the guy with the split hair and the laser going through the hair. I tried that one, and boy, that was really ugly looking. It didn't work at all. Now, here's where things get really very interesting. After about an hour, so this is like 4:35 p.m. yesterday, okay? An hour after these avatars are being revealed and being completely discredited in their Discord server, we get an announcement. And we never get announcements because they don't really ever talk to us, except maybe once or twice a week for an AMA where they answer no questions. We get an announcement that, hey, there was a glitch with the avatars. And we're redoing them. And people said, okay, what does that mean, redoing them? I'm going to lose the avatar I have? I like my avatar. And other people said, are you replacing or you're adding? Here's the answer. This is where my avatars used to be. They have removed the avatars and replaced them with the placeholder that we've had for 2 weeks. Now talk about not knowing what you're doing. This is just really awful and terrible and sad because they don't know what they're doing. So I posted a message that was not replied to. I copied it and sent it to one of the owners who I've had a nice conversation with in the past and said, hey, I understand you want to redo these. I have copies of all of mine saved, which I do. But what are you going to do about the secondary market where people went on OpenSea and purchased some of these avatars because they like them? And now you're going to, they're saying, replace them. With what? The same ones but fixed? Completely different new? What? And I said, I guess it doesn't matter to me, I said to the owner, because I have copies of all of them, and if I want to, I'll just remint them on my OpenSea account and use them, because I had plans for all this. And they didn't respond. And they're not going to respond because they know that they're wrong, especially since these have already been exchanged for money, and now you're going to replace something that somebody purchased for a set price. You're now going to replace it with something that they don't know what it is. How do you get away with that? And all these people, the international people on the Discord server, saying, look, there are very strict rules in France for this kind of thing, and they are breaking them left and right. They have to be accountable. They have to report this to the government, their initial break-in. If we are unhappy, you can go to them and say, I want all of my money back. And under French law, they have to return all of the NFT money that you've spent there on them. And they're just being completely non-responsive. Now, I'm not doing any of that. I have copies of all the avatars. I'll do what I want to with them now. And I guess I'm going to get a whole new set. Allegedly, today, around 4 o'clock. Maybe, could be. But that's what they said. Oh, we had a little glitch with the avatars. We're taking them all down, and we're going to redo them, and we're doing it in 24 hours. Now, I don't know what they're doing or what they're fixing. Oh, Gordon's speaking in French. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. NFTs is what I recognize. I'm not making a fool of myself. Gordon's words will stand alone with him. That's French for, Gordon says, I am very sad. I don't like my NFTs. That's probably what they should be putting up there. And the founder, owner that I was talking to has always been very friendly, super helpful and very nice, but I haven't heard from him for a month. So some people are happy because I would say the majority of people who got one of the avatars they're miserable. They say, well, I can't use this for anything. And that's why there were so many of them up for sale on OpenSea. I guess the one that everyone wanted was the avatar with the crown. And for an hour and a half, there wasn't any with a crown. And then a couple started popping up. And the crown is nice. I agree. The crown is very, very cool looking. The crown with the blue me, with the 3D glasses, it's a good looking avatar. Another one I like was a crown with the avatar, the blue avatar as a basketball, an orange basketball, with swirly eyes that, you look at them and they give you vertigo. That was a cool looking one too. But the me within the me with the open mouth, like a Canadian South Park person, that I think is going to be a hard one to manage. This. And maybe they'll just get rid of it because as far as I understood from people who know more than I do about this kind of design, none of this style, Manitox or something was the style, none of these were correct. Which I think makes them very valuable. Just like the Poopy Kitty one, I think is very valuable. I don't know if that's going to come back. But there's value in things that people hate and don't want. Just I remember for the Sabette, there was a Sabette Ugly Kitty that was a Santa Claus. That I thought was very darling, but kind of ordinary. But it was selling very cheaply. And then people would resell it for a cheaper price, a cheaper price, a cheaper price, a cheaper price, a cheaper price. Because I guess they didn't want it. Because they thought it was seasonal, so you couldn't really use it for a profile pic except like December, but you had to be the right religion. Why would Sabette do this? And then one of the people who were moderators on his Discord just went in and bought it for a very cheap price and is keeping it. And I think that person, in order to, because the floor was getting lower and lower because of this one ugly kitty, so that person bought it at the cheap price, right? And then resold it to himself on another account for a higher price that was higher than the floor. So he fixed the floor. Swept the floor is the phrase. And it all worked out. Not really above board, but a sneaky way of raising a floor price. And speaking of sneakiness, we're going to talk about our next scam. Lots of photographs on that one. That is sort of bubbling in the deaf community now. And we will take a look at that in depth when I return in a moment. And we are back from our break. This is Boles.tv, B-O-L-E-S .TV, television. I'm David Boles, Monday through Friday, here with you live at 9 a.m. Eastern. And we've had a wonderful, interesting morning. And I realized that those original MeBot avatars that have now been burned, if you saved a copy, that's where all the value will be. Not what they're going to replace it with. The original mistakes. You could do a lot with it. It's a good story. But how many people saved it? I don't know. I'm going to find out later, though, I think. So, now we reach a point in our conversation about scams. And how we try to be careful. And sometimes it just doesn't really work out very well. And there is a scam that is currently going on in the community of the deaf, I believe, on Facebook. And it is sort of related to the Community Services Block Grant, CSBG. But some of these scammers flip it around just a little bit so it sounds like the same thing, but it's not the same thing. In this scam we're going to look at, they call it a Community Development Block Grant. So if you do a search on that, Google will kind of take you to Services Block Grant, but I guess the scammers think if they get in trouble, they'll say, well, I didn't say it was that program. I said it was development, not services. And for some reason, the beautiful and talented Jan Marie was somehow, I don't want to say ensnared, but somehow included in this scammy conversation. I don't know if it was a group chat or if it was sent to her or if this is some kind of proof that now her information has been somehow compromised by this process. But it's all very unfortunate and extremely frustrating. And I'm going to show you why right now. So I have a series of screenshots that we'll read together. And this all happened back in May, but we just found out about it when I was updating Jana Marie's Apple computers. And I got this message from iMessage saying, hey, there's this thing asking for new permissions on your computer. Do you want to give permission or not? And I looked at it and it was iMessage, and we don't use iMessage because it's a corrupt way to get into your phone. And we don't do FaceTime. We go other more secure methods of communicating on our iPhones. So I said, no. And then I kind of looked at it and I saw that there was this that you're looking at, this iMessage that appeared to be to her but wasn't to her. And I'm thinking something funky is up and weird. So, setting the stage, I've tried to blur out all of the private information. The person who's being scammed is sort of a friend. 712 is an Iowa area code, and the call, as they say, is coming from in the house. This is a Council Bluffs, Iowa phone number that is doing the scamming. Now, the scam name I'm not hiding because it's not a real name and I don't care. So here we go. This is how it starts. And we just found out about it this weekend. So this has been around causing trouble somehow since May 26th, but we didn't know about it. We never got an iMessage about it until we updated our computers and we got this alert that something was up. Do you want to give extra permissions to iMessage? No. This is Agent Thomas Johnson, in charge of the Community Development Block Grant Program. CDBG, okay? It's really CSBG, Community Services Block Grant Program. What is your full name? Okay, so that's all we have right there. So that's really all I saw for the first day when I denied all of this. And then I checked on her iPhone, and I said, well, wait a minute, because I actually clicked on this to read the rest of the message. And that's where I started getting very concerned. So you click on this to get the whole thing, and boy, oh boy, this is a long interaction. What is your full name so we can check on our database? And the person who is being targeted, who is being scammed, a deaf person. And you're going to say, how do you know it's a deaf person? Could be anybody. Could be any person. Why are you picking on the deaf? Well, you're going to see in a minute. And as in all communities, there are people who have high information and people who have low information. And there are people who are desperate for money and opportunity, and they are very, very ripe for these scams, and that's why these scams are so popular. Because people are desperate, and they think that they can get something for nothing. And how do you convince them? You're not going to get this for that. Oh, yes, I will. I have it in print. It's on my iMessage. This is happening. It's a real thing. Oh, it's not. It's a scam. Your brother told you it's a scam. It's a friend told you it's a scam. Jan Marie Sweetheart said it's a scam, and you don't think it's a scam. So, the mark, the target, responds, hi. Okay, my full name is, and she gives her full first, middle, and last name. She doesn't know this person. This person just sent her an iMessage. So the scammer says, okay, please hold on while I run a verification check on our database. And the mark says, okay, sure, no problem. Are you okay? Do you understand? The scammer says, yes. Why? Well, what do you mean? The mark says, I do not understand what you talk about. Excuse me, my first time. And then she says, oh, yes, I got it just waiting for you. Answer question. To receive the money, you have to fill out the claim requirement form. I believe that is from the scammer, who is now no longer speaking in all caps. And the scammer says, here we go. I need your full name. I need your address. Are you male or female? Married or single? And here we go. Hearing or deaf. Monthly income, phone number, age. So right there you know that somebody in Council Bluffs, Iowa, is targeting people, probably through Facebook friends, sending them iMessages, pretending to be someone they are not in order to get money out of them. And you know it's a scam against the deaf because of that question. You've seen a lot of these scam things. Have they ever asked you in a scam SMS text, are you hearing or deaf? Never. They know she's deaf. And when you speak ASL and you're in a deaf community, you are proud to be deaf and to self-identify culturally as deaf. So immediately, that is a very cunning hook to hook your mark by using cultural pride as the anchor that's going to sink this person. Phone number, age, and then the great warning, Note, any false or misleading information may terminate your grant or get you disqualified. So kindly, see, there's that catchphrase. We talked about it with Gordon earlier about this scam thing. You see the word kindly, and you know you are being scammed. And a lot of these people just take scripts that exist, they copy, paste them, and make them usable for their function. So if you're probably a deaf person trying to scam another deaf person, you would take a script that you know has worked before for other people and modify it a little bit. So kindly provide the valid details for due processing and verification. You need to fill out this form so we can know your destination when bringing your money deliver to you at your doorstep. And the mark says, okay, I got it now. I understand. Thanks. Okay. And then the scammer says, I need you to fill in the form now. And get back to us, ma'am. So the mark replies. And see, usually these scammers need to get you in and out before you can talk to anybody, before you can ask a question. They usually put a time limit on it. And I don't believe this happened in this process, at least as far as we know. They usually say you have 20 minutes to comply, get this done, or you lose all your money. Or they say you have 45 minutes to get this done, or we're sending the marshals over to your house to arrest you for fraudulent information that you just gave us. They did not put a time limit on this. And you'll see as this goes on that this went on for a long time, which is sort of a good thing for the mark. I understand. I can get back to it. Here is, my full name is, again, my full address is this, including apartment number. Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha and Council Bluffs are right across the river from each other, 3 minutes away. So Omaha, Council Bluffs, it's the same metro area. I'm female. I'm single. I'm deaf, right? That was one of the questions. Little deaf emoticon there, see, showing the cultural pride. And here's why this conversation went on so long instead of getting cut off earlier is she says her monthly income is $6,000, $588. Now, I don't believe that's true because this person is disabled, has not worked for 2 years, and is very ill. So perhaps the question was misunderstood in providing an answer. But when you tell a scammer your monthly income is $6,600, they're going to bite you, and they're not going to let you go. My home number video phone is, my age is 57 and a half. My birth date is June 1964. And now the scammer says, back to all caps now, do you want your fund? That's why I think that this is copy and paste. When he's speaking directly to her without the script, it's upper and lower case. When he's using the script and copying and pasting, it's all caps. Do you want your fund to be presented either by cash or check? The mark replies, cash. Okay. Now we go back to regular typeface. Good. The scammer says, now your grant is guaranteed for delivery. So finally, you will need to clear the personal charges, the clearance fee, to the delivery desk officer for the delivery of your grant. And here's where the hammer falls. You pay $2,200 and get $100,000. $3,100, $200,000. $4,500, $300,000. $5,000, $400,000. $8,000, $500,000. 11, and on and on and on and on and on. Which one is preferable to you, the scammer says. You have to choose your preferable delivery fee now so that the processing can start immediately. $8,000, you get $500,000. How do you want to make your payment? And the mark says, can I pay you every month until I pay it off? And the scammer says, yes, we accept that till you pay off, but you need to make an advance payment now to make your package funds ready to safe. Now, I'm not saying there is a classical way of phrasing a scam message, but just reading that sentence suggests to me, based on my experience, that that was written by a deaf person. Just by the way the syntax and the glossing happens in that. And it's understood by the mark, so maybe that's a smart method. Deaf English is different than standard English. And the mark says, thanks, okay, $200, okay. And the scammer very smartly says, oh, you want to make a payment of $2,000. No, the mark says, I mean $200. And the scammer says, that's all you have now? And the mark says, okay. And the scammer says, well, why don't you make it $500 as an advance payment at first? And then here we go, where the mark says, well, on June 3rd, I get paid. Yes, $500. The scammer says, okay, I'll let you pay $200 now, just to notify the accountant here that you're ready to get your funds. So how did you want to make the payment? Are you there? And the mark says, oh, I don't have $200 now. But wait until I get paid on June 3rd. Now, you might think that this is part of a Reddit scam, because there are people in the Reddit scam group who talk to these scammers, give them a hard time, run them around, go this way, that way, spin their heads just to mess with them. This is not that. This is real life messing around with the scammer. The scammer says, ma'am, you need to pay the advance money now or your funds are going to be terminated. And you told me you have $200, so I will need you to pay that right now for the accountant to prepare your package. And the mark says Cash App. Okay, fine. Or other. And the scammer goes to the next level. Did you know how to buy Bitcoin on Cash App? We talked about that with our friend Commissioner Gordon from Batman a week or two ago, and how much I love Cash App. And now you can actually buy Bitcoin on your Cash App and then make it into Ethereum and send it to yourself. I guess I'm not the only one who loves Bitcoin and Cash App. And the scammer goes on and says, because I will give you the government Bitcoin tag now. And our mark says hold. And the scammer says, okay, we'll be waiting for you now while I get the government Bitcoin tag. And then the mark says, please explain to me, I'm still not sure, where can I use payment, PayPal? And the scammer says, do you have a Cash App? And the mark says, no, I do not have, but I will add Cash App, okay? Then the scammer says, okay, once you add Cash App on your Cash App, then you can buy Bitcoin on your Cash App. Then let me know when you are done with that. I hope you understand me now. Yes, the mark says. And here we go. This is the proof from the mark with a screenshot of her Cash App. $200. And the scammer says, waiting for you now. Yes, click on Bitcoin. And the mark says, well, what's your email or your name? And the scammer says, no. You need to click on Bitcoin first. Have you done that? 2 and 4, I need then click, the mark says. 2, 4. And the scammer says, once you have clicked on Bitcoin, you can just screenshot and tell me the next thing to do. And the mark says, well, not work, because I not have enough cash in bank. That's why click not work. That's why I'm waiting till June 3rd. I'm sorry. The mark continues, I'm at insurance company for a mess up. I'm sorry. And then the scammer gives the Cash App address of where to send it and the name. And then the mark says, what? And then the scammer says, I hope you have $200 on your Cash App. And the mark says, what do you mean? And the scammer says, you said you have $200. Then send it through Cash App or PayPal. Do you understand me now, ma'am? Did you get that now, ma'am? And the mark says, oh, hold please. Okay. And here we go with another screenshot of the mark's bank balance, which is 0. And the scammer says you need to add cash from your bank to your Cash App first before sending money. Did you get that? And the mark says, okay, yes, still waiting. And the scammer says, have you added cash to your Cash App? Are you there? And the mark says, I'll ask my brother. Hold. I just learned, okay, please. Hold, thanks. Okay. Then the scammer says, hello, ma'am. This is taking too long. Are you there? And the mark says, yes, I'm here, waiting for my brother to answer. I'm sorry. Okay. Then the mark says, you scam what he told me. 8 exclamation marks. And the scammer says, that's just the problem. This is never a scam, because this is legit government funds. Can he text me so we can talk about it? And the mark says, okay. My brother Doug, his number is this. You text him, please. The scammer says, I just sent him a text, which I'm sure the scammer did not. And the scammer wants to turn around and say, hey, Doug says it's fine. Go ahead. We talked about it. It's all cleared up. And so the scammer then says, have you added the cash to your Cash App to begin the preparation for your funds? Are you there? And the mark says, I'm waiting for him, her brother, to add in my bank account. Then it will be fine, okay? And the mark continues, I'm sorry, my brother, very strict. I send your links. I trust you. And the scammer says, how much do you have in your PayPal? And I guess doesn't get an answer, and so the scammer says, I have nothing to do here. Again, I will direct you to the government accountant. You can tell the accountant whatever you want to tell him. And that's where this conversation ends. And how this ended up in Jana Marie's iMessage, I do not know, and I'm not sure I want to know. But the person who was a mark provided lots of information. Showed her contact list, her Cash App to this scammer along with phone numbers, gave her brother's phone number. And when this conversation was over, she asked her friends, including Jana Marie, I'm going to get all this money. I'm going to give $2,000 and I'm going to get $50,000 back. And Jana and her friend said, why would anybody do that? Well, it's a government grant program. But it's not, but it is. I have the message. It's written down. And the story doesn't really end there. The story sadly continues that a few days later, it was discovered that the mark was overdrawn in her bank by $200. And the bank had covered it. So after this conversation, it appears that $200 was removed from her bank account and sent somewhere. Now you need more than that, right? You need another $1,800 or you're going to lose your money. And a few days after that, the mark contacted her 401k trustee and said, I have $78,000 in my 401k and I need $50,000 of it right now. And the trustee said, if you wait a year and a half, you don't have to pay any tax on it. But if you take it now, that $50,000, you're going to pay $10,000 of tax because it's an early withdrawal. So instead of getting $50,000, you're only going to get $40,000. And that was a 2-hour conversation. And she decided to take it out anyway. $50,000. Oh, I need to buy furniture. I need to get a new computer. What are you going to do with the rest of the $40,000? And this mark is known in the community from which this person who was scamming her came from, knows that she has had in the past a gambling problem. So is there some of that 401k money going to pay off the rest of this fake investment scam? My brain says absolutely, but my heart says I hope not. But there are people who listen and there are people who do what they want to do. So what can you do? They come to you for information and for guidance, and you give them information and guidance, and they reject it. And we weren't able to make that connection between this scam and the strange withdrawal of $50,000 from a 401k plan until this iMessage appeared in Jana Marie's inbox. Then it all made sense. Oh. You bounced $200 that your brother, Doug, covered for you later. You need another $1,800, even though you said you're not doing it, so you take $50,000 out of your 401k. And over the weekend, I found this. Southern View Police Department. We, the Southern View Police Department, exist to serve all people. And we are here to safeguard people. And we're letting you know of a Facebook scam. Community Development Block Grants. This is nothing special. This is nothing new. Our friend was a mark with a giant, big banner over her head saying, "Take my money." The Southern View Police Department officers are taking reports of scams on unsuspecting victims. In the latest report, the scammers are posting under the Facebook page named Community Development Block Grant, which is where I'm sure that this scam was copied from. They promise you a package of $100,000 if you send them the money needed to pay FedEx and to deliver your money, your cash, right? In this case, it's nearly $7,000. This is typical scammer activity. In every text of the victim's Facebook Messenger, the individual refers to them as Madam, Ma'am. The CDBG page itself appears to be official. However, they have very little activity in the last 8 years. They only posted enough cover photos to appear official, so you won't question the legitimacy of it. They also seem to be in a hurry to get your money. The area code listed is California. This is not local. These are red flags. This one was local. And now what do you do? California Department of Community Services and Development. Community Service Block Grant Consumer Alert. California residents should be aware of fraudulent activity by individuals claiming to represent the Community Services Block Grant. Fraudsters unrelated are contacting people by telephone, email, social media, and text message, offering funding or services in exchange for a fee. Classic. But if you're low information, maybe you don't read English as well as maybe you think you do, you're a prime target, especially if you have $78,000 in your 401k. And now you go to the government website, grants.gov. This is so well known and so spread out. They have a whole page on it called Grant, Fraud, and Scams. I'll put that link in chat. And the hardest thing to get through these people, these marks, is why would anybody give you all of that money for a little bit of money? And they're caught up in it because I'm important, because I'm a part of the community, because I'm building, because they know I don't have any money, they want to help me. And there are people that get scammed with gift cards. We have your daughter, and if you give us $2,000 in Apple gift cards, we'll release her, but you have 30 minutes, go to the store. And the registrar people who work behind the register are trained. What are you doing with, $2,000 of these? Oh my, and you can't tell any, the scammer said, you can't tell anybody. You tell anybody, we're going to kill your daughter. We're going to send the marshals after you. The FBI is on your doorstep. Pay us right now. And it's usually old people who are retired, who don't know any better. And these companies, CVS, Walgreens, Duane Reade, they know to say, look, you're probably being scammed. Let me help you. And they've helped a lot of people. How to recognize and avoid scams. Great news, you're eligible to receive a government grant. For a small fee, you can obtain a government grant. The government does not charge a fee for individuals or entities applying for federal grant. While financial information may be required as part of the application process, it's to be submitted through a government website. The Federal Bureau of Grants has awarded you $8,000. Do not be fooled. And on and on and on. So you wonder, how can you... We sent this page, this link, to that person who was the mark for this scam. Interpreted it for her, explained it to her. Two days later, she was getting her 401k. So what do? You can't protect people from everything. Hey, there's our friend. Nice to see you. When people are money hungry and they don't have any money, and someone tries to fake them out with this sort of scam, they're not in a rational state of mind. You cannot reason with them. And the Mark's brother, who kind of takes care of her, yells at her, says, do not do this. Yelling doesn't work either. Compassion, information sharing, yelling, threatening. It doesn't work. It doesn't go through. So I guess you just have to leave people alone, and they lose all of their retirement savings and funding, and it all goes down the drain. And in the end, they're probably still going to be somebody's responsibility. But they're not going to have any of their money anymore. So they'll be totally reliant on those who are assigned to care for them. And that is a big and unfortunate burden. Now we've come to the end of our time together. It's been a wonderful show, full of interesting scams and scabs and bloody stunts. It's the way of the world as we know it today. This is the definition of the human condition. I'm David Boles, and I thank you very much for being here. Now, Gordon, if you have a specific question to ask somebody, you need to click on their name, but click the reply thing so it goes to them and it will alert them. You have to click on the click to reply, and then that person will know that you're trying to reach them. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me, David, at boles.tv. If you have a question for Jan-Marie Sweetheart, you may email her at jana@boles.tv. On Facebook, we are BOLES. On Instagram, we are Boles Books. On YouTube, we are BOLES.live. Boles, not live. On TikTok, Boles TV, and on Discord, hey, always there, 24/7, waiting for you to say hello and goodbye. Join us for conversation and information sharing, something we always like. So until tomorrow, may you rest well, have a good nap, and awaken refreshed. And may joy be the center of your soul. I'll see you tomorrow.